Well, hello and welcome to the Splashcast. I have two lovely people here joining me. If they would introduce themselves, I believe they're from some school in West Virginia, or at least I would hope so. So go ahead.
All right. Hi, my name is Henry Sheils, and I'm from Huntington High School, and I'm a four-time state champion.
And I am Emily Randolph, his coach that has nothing to do with why he's so good.
That's right. As I always say, because
that's not true.
As I always say, as a coach, you always get the credit when they don't do so well, but whenever they do so, you don't always get the credit. So, so welcome. And Henry, I just love that introduction. I feel like whenever you go and meet friends, you're like, "Hi, I'm Henry, and I'm a four-time state champion."
Oh, they already know. They already know.
Yeah.
Or is it maybe because we don't have, maybe like your friends are only swim friends because that's all you have time for whenever you swim?
Pretty much. That's swimming is my life right now. So yeah.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about, I just want to start, I'm going to start backwards. I'm going to start like with this weird, let's talk college, shall we?
All right.
All right. So tell me, is there specific colleges that you're really excited about? Do you have this gigantic hamper or pile at your house of just college mail? Tell me about college and Henry Sheils.
So I am wanting to swim in college. I have a bunch of schools that I'm looking at right now. A little too many, but I'm trying to whittle it down. But I hopefully will know in April or May where I'm going. So I'm definitely hoping to swim in college. That's the plan.
That's awesome. Is it super secret? Do we got to wait till May, or is there like 4 or 5 choices that you're trying to whittle it down to?
I think I should keep it secret.
I think that's an amazing idea.
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing idea. Only if you get to tell me. Only if you get to tell me later on exactly where it is. But that's fine.
All right.
That'll be our little deal.
Yes.
And it's like the disappearing coach. I love
it.
This.
It is. I don't listen. Keep me on a pool deck away from technology.
So tell me, what is, and I'll refer this to Emily here. What is our thinking? We're getting, I think regionals is coming up. It'll be here before we know it. Tell me about the Huntington guys swim team. What is like our preparation for that?
It's definitely, we're still in the thick of training hard. We had to take a couple days off. We had quite a little COVID scare on our team. So we took a couple days off. It snowed anyway, so we didn't have practice. It worked well for us. We had a meet last night. We have a meet on Friday. We have a meet on Saturday. We have a meet on Monday. And then it's going to get to that championship time where we really start to work on speed, technique, trying to figure out what everyone's going to swim, what are we going to do. But right now we're still in the thick of hurting.
Well, what's that like? So I know, and I always say this, and I don't know if people know this, I'm the assistant coach at Musselman High School. So on the Eastern Panhandle. So I'm actually 6 hours away from you all. So most of these people I talk to, I couldn't drive to you all in a single day ever. So I know whenever I had at regionals, we had the unlucky last year, we had the unlucky thing happen where we had our girl that was going to probably finish top 6, top 12 in the state. She ended up getting COVID right on regionals. And so that affected that, and that affected relays. So tell me, what is that like mindset? What is that like to just have to like stop things because of COVID, or just have this like COVID scare?
I feel like I'm so used to it at this point after training for these past 2 years with all of these breaks and everything. Like, I don't know. It's just, I have a system whenever we don't have a set plan of practices. Like I know what to do with my body. I know how to get ready for the next step of the way. So, yeah.
And what about you as a coach? Like, what is your mindset whenever you hear whenever you hear the big bad C word? That's what I always call it.
It's daily text messages from the kids. I've got to go get a test. I'm waiting to hear about a test it's funny you bring it up. Last night at the meet, I said to them, this could be your last meet and you wouldn't even know it. You never know what's going to happen with this season, with last season. It's very scary that's also a thing you have to worry about. Our kids are really good though. They stay in their little bubble of the swim team, and they stay away from everybody else at school. They wear their masks. They know that one little slip up and it could come crumbling down.
Doesn't chlorine kill everything? Isn't that what they always say?
You would hope, but 12 kids to a lane.
maybe not. All right, so Henry, let's talk about what is your mindset. So you're like the 4-time state champion. So what is your mindset personally? And we'll talk about the team later. Personally, like what is your mindset going into the state meet or the regional meet too, as well? Because we have to qualify for states. But what is your mindset going on?
Well, my ultimate goal at states is to go 4 for 4 in all of my events this year, which it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough to do, but I really think that I can do it, and I really think my teammates can do it on the relay. So it'll be an exciting meet.
So is this like what you tell, is this what like Michael Phelps when he won the 8 gold medals? Are you going to be like, look, I need you all to help me get the 4 for 4? Like, is that what you tell your team? Like, look, don't let me down. Like, what do you tell your teammates for the relays?
I mean, they're just as motivated as I am. They want to win just as bad as I do. So it doesn't take much motivation to get them ready to swim. So they're just as hyped up as I am before each race. So yeah.
Now, what is there something specific? Is there a specific, speaking of hyping up, is there something specific that we do at Huntington High School? Like, is there like a nice little tradition, regional tradition, a state tradition? Is there something special or a special Huntington cheer? Tell me about any of those things. You can both tell me about those.
I don't know if there's anything special. I'm just a lot. I personally, if you've ever met me on the pool deck, I'm usually the loudest one there. I also, jump up and down crazy. I get into it just as much as they do. And I think, that really has a lot to do with it. Just that I won't just stand there with them, and they know I'm not going to look like a fool for anyone. So that's usually about what it is. There's also a lot of, shaking and yelling each other's faces. Yeah.
We're the guys that like to slap each other before we swim.
You guys are the slappers. Is it like the slappers like this? Because you guys, how many red marks can we get before we swim?
Get the wings on the chest.
Because that always makes me laugh whenever I see that. Does that make you swim faster if we like hit each other, get as many red marks? Is that like?
I think it does. It gets
works so far.
Yeah.
So tell me, which teams are we fearing here at Huntington? Like which schools, or either even relays from schools, like what schools are we like, oh my gosh, they might hold us back from? Like which schools are we like really not scared of, but like that we're like really trying to beat? Like what do you think is the big competition that keeps Huntington from winning a state title necessarily?
Well, there goes my camera in the middle of that.
That was perfect.
Yeah, right. Just run away. That's what it's doing. I have too many like swim programs saved on my computer that I think it just can't handle life. I don't know what it is. But definitely I'd say Wheeling Park. They just have been showing up all season, and there we go. They're right behind us on top times. We're back and forth, or we're so close. I know Parkersburg too. We have conference before regionals, and they're in our conference, and they're the ones that we definitely worry about. Bridgeport, They've always got good swimmers. So that's who am I missing? I know I'm missing somebody.
Parkersburg South.
Oh, yes, always Parkersburg South. They're always.
Yep.
They are always good. And then of course I always throw in because at one point we'll actually see each other more, but even Jefferson on the other side of the Eastern Panhandle, which you never see and they never see you. And one day hopefully that will change. We're working on changing that at the Eastern Panhandle. But yeah, you never see us anywhere.
We show up every year. We show up to the state meet and we're like, wait, we forgot about that whole region over there, and just all those, Buchanan Upshur. We never get to see them. Robert C. Byrd, we rarely see them. And they've got fast swimmers, but we get in our little bubble down here and forget about them.
We do. We all get into our special little bubbles. Now, Henry, tell me, is there I don't know if like you and Owen, I think some people want to know, or maybe I just do, or maybe I'm just curious. I don't know. So like you got like Owen Leary and like Bruce Keener. Are you guys like, how close are you? I know you guys obviously want to compete against each other, but like when you guys have like really like some of the fastest times in the state, do we like say, oh, I got a super fast time today? Like how does that relationship work with your other people?
Oh no, we're super friendly with each other on deck. I've swam against Randy for 5.
I don't know, Randy Bruce, maybe. Whatever you want to call him today.
Randy Bruce, yeah. I've swam against him so many times. Like we've just really gotten to know each other just swimming against each other. So it's always super fun racing against him. We bring the best out of each other. So I really enjoy racing people up at my caliber, I think.
And that's what I always say as like a coach, and I'm sure Emily can agree. Like, there was one season that like I had a 50 freestyler, and there was another one right beside them, and they just kept racing each other. And they started at like 24.5, and they're like, well, we're going to beat that next week. And then they got to 24, and they all the way got down to a high 22 just by racing each other every meet. So that was so that's kind of cool. So tell me about that, Emily, on your end. Do you like, how does that work for you? What do you think about like those competition things like that?
Oh, I mean, last night I made Henry swim the 100 freestyle fly against our best 100 freestyler and Cabell Midland's best 100 freestyler just because I wanted to watch a race. It's fun for me. So I actually probably am much more competitive and aggressive going into things, and Henry's like, no, but he's a really nice guy, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, so I'm the one over there, like, wanting to throw down, have a race, and he's shaking hands behind the block and talking and being nice, and I try to get him to be a little bit more aggressive, but it's hard. They are all, those top swimmers, the Owen, the Bruce, Frank McCutcheon, all of them, they're all such nice guys that it's like hard to be like angry that they're so good. They're really nice kids, nice guys to be around. It's good competition to have.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Henry, so in terms of the state meet, I am like such a weirdo, probably just as much as your coach is, but I love this especially the second day of states. And I was the most bummed last year. There was no music to pick from. There was no parade. What is like your, first of all, do you have, let's start here. Do you have, if you were to be seated first, do you have your song picked out and ready?
So I want to redo my sophomore year, I chose Thunderstruck, which is Marshall's big hype up song. And I love bringing that to Morgantown, bringing that to WVU, and just rubbing Marshall in WVU's face. It's so funny to me. So,
oh my gosh, and I'm wearing a WVU sweatshirt right now. I didn't even realize that till.
Yeah, we are Marshall all the way over here.
Yeah.
So but also speaking on that, what is your like favorite thing about like about states? Like because I think our states is so unique in terms of like what other states, it's not just go in and swim and get out. Like there's, I know even, I mean, I don't think they do it this year, but even the officials put on their blue coats. I remember whenever they did that. Tell me, what is like your most like favorite thing about just like the atmosphere of states?
I think my favorite thing about states are the relays, because I just the environment during the relays, there's nothing like it in the sport in West Virginia. Just having all of your best friends behind you, behind the blocks cheering for you, there's nothing like it. So that's definitely my favorite part about the state meet.
And especially like the crowd on the 200 free, or
Oh yeah.
and especially the girls 400 free relay. Everyone's seen the George Washington relay interview, and the very first question was me just showing the recording of just how me going again, me being the weird swim nerd that I am, going crazy over that. And they said they could still feel the momentum of just that moment, just, you know, and it's just at the end of the day, it's just a high school swim meet, but it just feels like a lot more when you're there.
Definitely.
So, all right, now I'm going to ask a question that I've asked like all these other people, Henry. What is something unique about you, like something that's not swimming? So, because you spend 400 years swimming in your life, tell me something unique about you that maybe people don't already know.
Ooh.
I tried to prep you for this yesterday. I told you I was going to ask.
I am an avid sneaker collector.
Oh,
Maybe. Yes. I have a million shoes. Way too many shoes.
No, are we a certain kind? Are we like running shoes, basketball shoes, or just any shoe?
More like basketball lifestyle shoes. That's my jam. Yep.
That's awesome. I really appreciate that not only do you prep your swimmer for swimming, but you prep him for this interview.
Oh, I was just listing all the things I was going to say to embarrass him. So that was what I was
doing. Oh my gosh, oh no. Oh, you can't leave this interview without, I need you to say one of those things, just one.
Oh man. I will. So being, the evil coach that I am, my whole existence his freshman year was trying to find something Henry was not good at, because he was just so good at swimming. I had trouble, correcting him in swimming because he was technically good. He's so smart. He's math field day kid, like just super smart. And I found out he cannot fold t-shirts. And so I made him fold all the t-shirts for the conference meet and then kicked it over and made him do it again. And that was his introduction to Huntington High swimming. Was me finding things he's not good at. But he's got so many talents. He can recite pi and all these things. So he's got other stuff besides swimming, but everyone knows him for swimming.
And how does that feel? So, and I asked someone else this on one of these splash casts. How does it feel? Is it awkward for you? That's like, oh, this is Henry. Like everybody knows who you are. They don't know what you look like. They know you're like, nobody knows what you look like. They can recite your name and time, and they're like, oh, that's that Sheils kid. Usually they probably like that Sheils kid or something like that. How does that like bother you? Is it awkward? Like, what do you think about that?
I'm honestly pretty used to it at this point. But usually people don't expect me to be one of the faster swimmers in the state when they see me. It usually takes people by surprise whenever they find out. So
now, do we have bragging rights at school? Like, do you like, because I know some people like the schools know that there's a swim team, and then sometimes schools have no idea that a swim team exists. So how is it like in Huntington with like in terms of like what's the swim team is like?
I feel like the past like 6 or 7 years, the swim team has gotten a lot more popular at Huntington High. So I feel like a lot of people know about the swim team and know that we're a pretty good team, and that they know about me and everything that I've accomplished. So I feel like I'm pretty well known at my school. What I do.
We got a new record board a couple of years ago. Nice big record board that sits down one of the main hallways at Huntington High, and Henry's name is everywhere on it. So they everyone has seen his name on that board, and we try to keep a pretty good Instagram and TikTok presence. So that also helps a little bit to let everybody know that we do have a team.
Oh my gosh, your swim team is on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They made me.
I'm gonna have to look just to just to confirm how wonderful it is. So tell me, what's is there a record on this board, Henry, that you don't have, or I haven't seen this, or if there is a record on that board, is there a record that like, Coach, I need to break that one? Is there one?
I finally broke my last record at the beginning of this season in the 100 breaststroke. The 100 breast has always been my weakest event, so it was pretty cool to get that one off my shoulders. So.
And it's always weird because like the breaststroke, like if you're a good breaststroker, you're usually like, that's it. Like,
yeah.
it's like the super good breaststrokers. It's not that they're not good at the other things. It's just, there's something about the breaststroke that just gets people every time.
Yeah.
So how many numbers of pi can you recite to? Now I'm a math person, so now I'm intrigued.
I haven't done it in so long. I don't know.
We have a video of him doing it when he was like, how old? Like 5?
I was like 10 or 11.
Yeah, I don't know. He was real young. And we
Yeah.
just occasionally, every once in a while, whip it out to embarrass him, knock him down a few pegs when he's feeling really good. So that way he gets to watch himself do it.
Oh, that cracks me up. So I also have asked everyone this question, and this has been the stumper. Nothing else has stumped everybody, but this question has. If you could dominate another sport that isn't swimming, what sport or activity do you think it could be, and why?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yes, basketball.
Really?
I love basketball. If I could choose a different sport, it would totally be basketball. I'm a huge fan of NBA college basketball. Yeah, I'm a super fan of the sport. So definitely.
I love me some basketball too. I would never be able to play. I can't play it. That never have been. So what has been your favorite swim set ever? It doesn't have to be like something that Emily gave you, but just because sometimes Emily can't give you your favorite swim set. So I'm just curious, what is your favorite swim set?
Ooh. I really like the 12 Days of Christmas set. So it goes, I don't really know exactly how the set goes, but it goes 125, then 225s, and 125, 325s, 225s, 125s. All the way to 12.
Different stuff.
So all different stuff, and it usually lasts about 3.5 hours, and it's horrible. Horrible.
We take a snack break.
Yeah.
Now, do you dress up like Santa or anything like that, or is it like? How all out do we get with this set?
It's a whole thing on our team. We have a whole Christmas challenge. So the entire Christmas break, it is themed practices. We count the yardage. You get a certain amount of yardage, you get a t-shirt at the end of the year. So we go all out for Christmas. There's usually Christmas music playing, and they're really miserable practices, but it's fun because there's a theme and you never know what you're going to get and what I'm going to decide to come up with that day.
Oh man, I love a good Christmas sweat or a good Christmas set, and sweat, I guess. So what do you tell Emily? What are you telling your swimmers like now and right after you guys have your meets? Like, what are you telling them for regionals? Are you telling them like go beat them? Like what is the magical, like what are you telling your swimmers right now?
We're still so up in the air with who's going to swim what are we going to do, what's the plan, that it's very much, if you want a relay spot, you need to do it now. If you want a chance to swim with Henry in a relay, you need to do it now. You know, this is kind of our year. This is the best our boys team has ever been, and the best it's probably going to be for a little while, because we're graduating a lot of seniors. And you know, some of the other teams, it's an off year for them, so we really want to take advantage of that. And so it's getting all those boys, you know, rallied around, you know, doing whatever it takes to get better. If that means you're swimming the 200 IM when you're not a 200 IMer, but because you're going to score, they're going to do it. And so it's very much talking about how points work, you know, how lineups work, what's going to work best, and a lot of scouring the top times and trying to figure out, you know, getting everybody motivated and getting them to understand why, you know, they're swimming what they're swimming and the times they need to go, and, you know, finding that one person they need to beat. It's a lot of prep still. We still feel so far away from regionals because we have, you know, our county championship meet, and then we have conference. So it's baby steps for us still.
Now, is there a big, so I know the Parkersburg has Parkersburg and Parkersburg South. Is there like a huge rivalry that Huntington has? And then how does that rivalry play out in like the swimming world?
I don't even know.
I would say Huntington's biggest rival is Cabell Midland, but swimming is different for Huntington. I feel like Midland, like we're best friends, so everyone, we love each other on Midland, which is really weird. But I would say our biggest rival would be Hurricane.
Okay.
Yeah, for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Hurricane would be our biggest rival. But
fair enough. Yeah. Like I said, I'm such an outsider, and I know some people are in our little bubble, so it's good to hear kind of what that is. So I'm going to wrap this up with one final thing. All right.
all right.
Now, so I need you all to tell me what your favorite Olympic swimming race that you've ever watched is, if you can remember.
I'll go first because I've got mine, and mine's not an actual, it was Olympic trials. I actually am from Indiana, so I swam in Southern Indiana high school, and I had a very good, you know, teammate of mine. He's older than me, but we swam together, Ben Hessen, in the Olympic trials with 100 back. And he just barely missed it. That's probably my favorite race I've ever seen, to get to watch, you know, somebody I practiced with, trained with, race Ryan Lochte was insane to me. You know, that's probably my favorite Olympic race that nobody probably knows about or watched, because no one sits and watches all of Olympic trials, and it's probably like 2007, 2008. So, but that was it's cool to see people, you know, make it that far.
Mine would probably be actually the Olympic trials this year. Wave one of one of my good friends, Tim Stallings, swimming in the 100 butterfly, and it was really cool just to watch him make the Olympic trials after all of the hard work he's put in. And he's been such a big mentor for me. So it was really cool to watch him at that stage.
Well, that is awesome. Well, thank you all for coming on, and I am hoping, I sent out an email today. I'm hoping that Video Productions will A, be recording the summit again, and B, that I will be doing the commentary, because I don't know about you all, but I had a great time. I don't know if people had a great time listening to it, but I know
I loved it.
That was
It was
awesome.
afterwards, but
it was a lot of fun to do, and completely out of like my comfort zone, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trying not to say the same thing over and over again. But after like 8 hours in, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm saying the exact same thing over and over again. So I'm working on getting that back again this year, and hopefully we could do that. But thank you all for coming on.
thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
And I'll see you guys at the state meet.
All right.